line. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
It's open season down here in Weedsport, New York, and tonight we're about to find out just who is the fastest and the toughest of them all. We are about to go racing here at Weedsport Speedway in New York. It's time to get down to the action, time to get down to the racing right here on PTM Racing TV. I got to name the Crusader Christian Schreiber alongside tonight as we showcase to you from PTM Racing TV studios down here in Weedsport, New York. The drivers and the battles that come from the east from the Ooz Motorsports open house race. This race, it's not reserved for just anyone. It is reserved for all. Anyone welcome to compete for the $50 cash prize at the main event tonight. Open setups will be used so everyone has a fair stake and a fair shake at figuring these cars out and driving their way, their style. And we're about to find out just who is exactly the fastest and the brightest of them all as we get ready to head it down here for our race tonight. Let's take a look at our track team tonight. This D-shaped configuration of Weedsport is going to be one tough little cookie to master. It's going to be one tough track to really hammer down on. Watch for corner 1 and 2 to really be a bit of a tough end of the track. That's where you're going to see a lot of action swinging it straight up near that wall protection, while a lot of drivers try to just stay away from getting into trouble off of corner 3 and 4 with that normally designed end. The closest I can really compare this track to is like Richmond Raceway, meeting some dirt surfaces, but we'll get more into that a little later on. Here's our starting lineup for heat number 1 on your screen tonight. JC Floyd will be in the 018, and outside of him, that's Gavin Eisel in the 18. Row number 2, it's Cody Myers, the 55 outside. That's Tyler Bushy in the 15. Row 3 sees Bryce Dickinson in the 03 to his outside. Dennis Anderson Jr. in the 04. Row number 4 is going to be Jazzy Osborne in the 87 to his outside. The 13, Hunter Larson. And final starter in this one, Preston Skulman in the 00 here on our show. Heat number 1 on your grading order right now. Drivers preparing to go to battle. Nine drivers now in, locked, and ready to go. We'll bring the field down and across the track side. It's time to get out of the race in 6 laps here in this one. I know I said I was not expecting to be calling any races for the rest of the time being until tomorrow night, but I also did say in there, if we have anything pop up, be ready. Well, the folks over at Ooz Motorsports called up Sep and they said, hey man, we got a little special event going on. We're wondering if you guys are free. We told them, of course we're free. What do you got in mind? Let's see what we got. Oh, we got some dirt racing? Check. We got some dirt street stocks to check out? Check. We got a cash prize on the line? Check. We got an awesome little showcase for anyone to join? double check. That's 5 check marks. I think we're ready to go racing. We've got ourselves heat number 1 ready to go here out of the gate, so we'll line them up down across the field. Drivers preparing to go to battle and ready to go to war here for that $50 cash prize. But again, it's not really just about the cash prize. It's about just that luxury of saying they have won in the Ooz Motorsports open house. Pace truck coming off of turn number 3 down into turn 4. Here we go. Line them off at turn 4. Drive them hard. Drive them fast. Green flag high in the air. J.C. Floyd, the early advance here in the A18. He'll line them off the corners and fire away. The number 55 of Cody Myers trying to go to the inside here, make a little bit of charge there on Gavin Eisel. Eisel trying to hold him back though with the outside run while the guys in the back hang on for dear life. The 04 Dennis Anderson Jr. trying to give maybe a little bit of bump and tag to Bryce Dickinson there, but not quite there yet. Jesse Osborne is returning back onto the show in that 87. I've known him all too well and how fast he can be. Putting on a bit of a challenging show right out of the gates. He continues to hold on for 5th. We'll have a set of drivers advance in, then we'll go to the preliminaries where we'll see then the next set of heats, the next set of runs, and then we'll go to the B, C's, and A mains. Off of corner 4 there, you can see right there the 15 Tyler Bushy trying to make a little bit of charge at that 18 Jesse Osborne. Trying to hold his line down, 87, excuse me, of Osborne. As Osborne lost it completely at turn number 2. Car goes for a little bit of a ride and sidewind. The 18 Gavin Eisel right now in the transfer spot. Tyler Bushy as well. Transfers being very hard to come around here, and they wreck right off of turn number 4. Front straightaway, huge wreck ensuing. Hunter Skulin upside down, and unfortunately Hunter Larson collided in. Caution is out. Oh boy, 2 to go here, and that thing just got a little sidewindy, a little too hard on the gas, and everything just went completely out of control and out of proportion. Let's take a look at the PTM Instant Replay here as we take a look at this one. Well, that was supposed to be the PTM Instant Replay, but I'm not really sure where that went wrong. Alright, there we go. Then we got the right one. There it is right here. You gotta watch out at turn 4. You can see the 00 and the 13 just getting a little close together. 13 thought he had the room and the run to make the charge, and then, unfortunately for that 00, Skulman just had nowhere he can get out of. Pace lights are off on the pace truck right now. We're ready to get back to the action here. Should be only a little minor hiccup there on our end, so hopefully we continue that go. Round him out for turn number 4 this time by here. Let's get him back to the action, get him back down to the throttle here. 2 laps remain here in this one. Floyd got a good jump out of the gate there in the 15. Tyler Bushney also trying to hang in there. Bushney trying to get a run here. Something on Eisel. Eisel holding down his line though, keeping it staying still. White flag is out here in turn number 1. Hunter Larson not giving out. I don't think there's any relation to Kyle Larson, but you would think he sure drives pretty darn aggressive out there, but I don't know if that's exactly what he wanted to do there. White flag trades in for a checkered flag this time by, and J.C. Floyd will follow in suit to the number 1 spot as Cody Myers, Gavin Eisel, and Tyler Bushy will join him. Heat number 1 is complete. Let's take a look at our heat transfers here. Heat number 1 will ensue as Floyd, Myers, Eisel, and Bushy get that one. Dennis Anderson Jr., Bryce Dickinson, Jesse Osborne, Hunter Larson, and Preston Skulin will have to work their ways in as well to the field as we now charge up for the grading order. Heat number 2 coming up on your screen. Carl Kilgore will pilot it down as he pilots up the number 009 with Shane Yates on his outside. Row number 2, Dane Lloyd, the 9 is outside. That's the 22, Chris Beaversman. Row number 3, that's the 11, Justin Winslow is outside. The 114, Brent Robinson. Row 9, we'll see row 4, we'll see Ethan Todard. In the 5 is outside. The 10 of Chris Hill. Final start, Justin Blackwell in the number 4. Still bringing it around town here. Everyone ready to fire them on down. They'll come off of corners number 3 and 4 this time by Carl Kilgore has the call. He has the stand. He tells the boys this is how we start and this is how we finish. Off of corner 4, the green flag. Restarted up. Heat number 2 coming at your way now. As some fenders are being pushed in and some bumpers being caved in a little bit. More so often than not. Dane Lloyd getting a huge little tag and a half there. Up corner number 2. Got so far pushed back there. Unfortunately, I don't think you could have put him forward any more than that. And look at that slide job right down from the top to the bottom at the 5. Hill had no idea that was coming at him. He was trying to fire him back up. Couldn't quite get it to stick. Yellow flag is out here. As it looks like we got problems down there for Justin Winslow. Winslow having some major problems there, unfortunately. And he will have to be kind of set to the shadow realm for this one. See if we can get a look at what happened to number 6 here. Looks like he gets a little love tap there from the 23. And it looks like that was just enough to kind of get him sent on around and sent on packing. 4 transfer in from the heats, by the way, and Ethan C. Todert. I don't know if he was exactly thinking that he was going to get around that mess or if he was going to get out of that quick enough, but it certainly did not help him any. Right around corner number 4 this time by. Back to the green flag we go. We'll hit them up once more. Field trying to make their way down into the ends here. They can see every driver for themselves. Brent Robinson trying to get that final transfer spot as Ethan Todert holds him down. Looking to make pace and take aim here and take a shot or two on the track. Every driver knows that they cannot give in too quickly. They cannot give out too fast. They have to let things kind of settle in their way and their style. Spreading apart a little bit. Track may not be burnt in just as much as I think they were looking for yet, and maybe kind of slowing them up here or two. As the battle goes on here for the top 5, Brent Robinson and Dane Lloyd battling it hard, but they keep forgetting that they're not in the transfer spot. So one of them trying to just get a better position when it comes to the C and B mains here coming up. White flag is out this time by here for Carl Kilgore, though, in the number 9. He has the race lead. He's going to continue that on as these two just can't seem to get off one another. Robinson and Lloyd still fighting hard with one another, but off of turn 3. Lining it in down around turn 4 by about 2 car lengths. Carl Kilgore is going to put the number 9 into victory lane here in heat number 2. He'll take that spot away. Shane Yates comes second, third to Chris Beaversman. And fourth will go to the 5 of Ethan Todert as he will take home heat number 3's final transfer spot, excuse me. So 23 does get the final transfer spot for heat number 2. We'll line it up here and take a look at our results here from that heat. Top 4 advance: Kilgore, Yates, Bierman, and Todert will go on. Lloyd, Robinson, Hill, Blackburn, and Winslow will have to fight it out in the consolations or the concedes. Heat number 3 is going to be row number 1's Keith Ackney as he pilots up. The 69's outside. That'll be Jacob Doak in the 117. Row number 2. South Castle in the 7 is outside the 44. That's Jake Colley. Row number 3 sees Sweet Milgar in the 015's outside the 8. That's Cecil Kirkpatrick. Row 4 sees Blake Steele in the 12 is outside the 37. That's Braden Pfeiffer. Row number 5, Hayden Maybe in 40 is outside. That'll be the 14, Drew Corbett. Field set to go for this one. Drivers getting ready to head them up right now. Off of the final corners they go. The fans waving at their friends and family, getting ready to get it down on the track here. Ready for heat number 3 to come at your show here. Ready to come out on the track here. Again, Hackney, Doak, Colley, Castle will be their top 4 in this one. They'll have to hopefully hang on if they want to get anyone to the next round of racing. They're going to have a lot of work ahead of them. Got Carf coming on board saying, come on, Shane Yates. Brian Dickinson saying, Kyle Jarrett's my pick to win. Carf saying, Shane Yates. You have some of the fans in the stands over here. Jarrett coming on board as well in the TNL. Let's go from Shane Rathman. Here we go. Now back to the green flag. Heat 3 is underway. Off the first set of corners here. Oh, there's some madness again. We've got some more fenders being punched in. Some more drivers getting sent around town. Hayden maybe having all sorts of problems down there in turn number 4. A car got sent into the wall protection. Could not get it to race straighten out. That's kind of the hard part about racing here, is watching yourself and watching getting yourself out of those problematic zones. Weedsport is one tough little track to figure out when it comes to that. Only the best can get the tough corners down. They can ride this track in the way they need to. You can see the track slipping up slightly as we go. Top 4 right now in the transfer spot. Hackney, Doak, Castle, and Milgard. Trying to hold on to that. As you can see just from our blimp cam, just how much surface is turned up, how much those corners are getting torn down a little bit. Not a lot of grip down there, but in turn 1, 2, you don't really need much grip in turn 1, I should say. Comparatively, what you'll see around or later on, turn 1, you really just need to make sure you catch your slide just right and don't overdrive the turn. And then just kind of let the car handle it from there. And that's exactly, I think, what these guys are up to here. 2 laps to go this time by here as our field works their way around. And I do apologize in advance for my little overlay system here. White flag is out now. You saw that white flag flying high in the air. Keith Hackney right now, the number 1 guy. He looks to take home another one. Looking to start to the A main. Off a distance 3 and 4 to the final turns. Checkered flag high in the air. Hackney will get it. Doak, Castle, Milgard transfer. Alright, so here's how our heat number 2, heat 3, excuse me, results came in. This is going to be Hackney, Doak, Castle, and Milgard advancing. We'll see Cecil Kirkpatrick, Blake Steele, Jake Colley, Braden Pfeiffer, and then Drew Corbett, as well as Hayden maybe advancing into the conceit. So we'll see how they transfer and fight it out there. Let's take a look now at heat number 4 starting lineup here. We'll go on the pole. Garrett Marshall in the 789 designs, and his outside will be Shane Hayes in the 109. Row 2, it is Jonathan Byram in the 54 is outside. Dylan Wilson in the 6. Row 3 sees Caddy Tucker in the 53. And the outside of them will be, well, that will be Kyle Jarrett in the 045. Row 4, we're going to see Luke R. Howard in the 26th outside. David Pack, the 52. Final star in this one, Adrian Rosselli in the number 1. Alright, race fans, we're ready to get down to this one too. Ride him off out of corner number 4, and we're going to let him loose yet again, elasting that green flag. Everyone's getting a little bit patient to get to the start. They don't want to wait out. That's 6 of Dylan Wilson. Surely wants to get a piece of it. He wants to get that transfer spot, but he's pushing a little bit of bumper to do with Jonathan Byram down there. Byram, I don't know if exactly like that too much. It sends him to the shadow realm off turn number 3 and 4. Oh, he got sent out. He got thrown around like a rag doll and got sent out of here. He was not having it with him there. Oh, my. put so many fenders and bumpers together, eventually somebody will fight back. These things don't exactly like getting pushed around like that. You can bunch them and beat them all you want, but that doesn't mean the driver likes that. 09, there's in Sean Hayes right now, a little bit wide off of corner 2 there. You saw 3 wide, slid into turn 3 and 4. And the 09 gets sent out of here as Byron finally getting another charge and a chance up to the 3rd spot. Jared trying to hold the 45 down on the line. If there's a guy you got to watch out for, it's probably this one. But Garrett Marshall is also not one to be taken lightly here. He's having a solid race so far in Heat 4, getting himself plenty of room, plenty of opportunities to kind of make it big and make it strong here. Kind of testing himself and testing the waters throughout these corners and throughout these moments here. You see everyone else trying to gain up on him as we're coming up on the final laps here of Heat number 4. Fly him high, Garrett Marshall waiting for the white flag this time by Dylan Wilson. Man, he was punching he was punching around that car with some of these guys who were really pushing his momentum to its limit, but unfortunately, there is kind of a rule of thumb. You take what you get, and unfortunately, he took a lot more than he really gave. And in this case, he'll have to fall back behind as Garrett Marshall, Kyle Jarrett, Jonathan Byram, and Sean Hayes will be the final 4 transfers of Heat 4. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for a conceit. And let's take a look at this one as I currently make sure I am checking out the right one. This is going to be a C main conceit. So right now, let's take a look at our Heat 4 results now popping up on your screen. That's going to be an interesting one here because, again, top 4 transfer, Garrett Marshall, Kyle Jarrett, Jonathan Byram, Sean Hayes, and Caddy Tucker, Dylan Wilson, Logar Howard, and David Pack. We're in this one with 9th being Adrian Rosselli. Here we go, race fans. Time for a C-main time. We'll take a look at it on the board. Chris Hill, the number 10 is outside. It'll be Jake Colley in the 44. Row number 2, it's going to be Logar Howard, and that 26 is outside. That's Hunter Larson in the 13. Row number 3, it's Justin Blackburn in the 4 is outside. That'll be Brandon Pfeiffer in the 37. Row 4 sees David Pack in the 52 is outside. That'll be Preston Skeelan piloting up for the 09. Drew Corbett in the 14 is outside. That'll be Adrian Rosselli in the 1. And finally, it'll be Hayden Maybe in the 40, rounding out the field in the C main. We're only taking a few transfers in with this one here, so we'll see how everyone plays out. They get 10 laps to duke it out here, so we'll see what happens in this case. For those that are still tuned in with us or tuning in right now, first off, thank you so much for tuning in here on PTM Racing TV. If you're new to the channel and have never been here before, it ain't just dirt racing we got a lot of other races and a lot of stuff on this show. Got a variety of things to cover, and got things we covered on this tracks. So be sure to tune in with us, like and follow us on Facebook, and also this race will be on our YouTube following tonight's action here. So be sure to subscribe over there to catch some live races as well. We do live shows there in this point, so we do not just do it here on Facebook. But if you want to catch the replay of it, you can always go visit us up on PTM Racing TV on YouTube. And unfortunately, right now, we got trouble there on the back straightaway. Justin Blackburn, you saw him there in corner number 2, all over the place with the Frankie Fast, number 4. Unfortunately, that car went a little freaky fast, turning around rather than delivering the sandwiches they're used to on that name. Presented by Ooz Motorsports, here's our PTM Instant Replay now. Here's another look at it. And Blackburn just overdrove that corner. You saw him swing it way too hard in. Got a chunk there from that 14 as well. Drew Corbett, unfortunately, taken hard into a runoff. Could not get out of it. Field in a dead stop right now. They're waiting for the pack to come up. There's the pace truck now. So Chris Hill will still keep his position, of course, and that will give him a chance here. Field will bring him off the back straightaway here. Everyone looking for some spots, looking for some positions. Which one will gain the most and gain the most ground here? We're about to find out as we reel them down through 3. Yeah, you see that green flag high in the air. These hold on. What on earth has gone down the back straight? What has happened here? Yellow flag. Oh, no, hold just a minute. Wait just a minute. Now, I'm not pointing fingers around here, but I'm pretty sure the 37 thought it was time to go. I'm not so sure that was the time to go. Let's take a look at that one again. And I don't think the officials were liking that either. You can see at 37, he just completely pushed these guys out of the way. He was going to go, but he did not kind of think too far about the rest of that one. And Brandon Pfeiffer has been disqualified for that little scenario there. That is a tough break for him, but unfortunately there are rules in place. These drivers may have an open setup and an ultimate style on this racetrack, but that does not mean they can just run open rules on this thing. It's not an enduro, boys. Driver's ready to go back at it here off of turn number 4 this time by here. We are back underway. The guys on the charge and on the run. Lining up that bound around out of turn number 1 through turn 2. Look, R. Howard here trying to get whatever he can off that damage he just took from the from Pfeiffer just a minute ago. Chris Hill, though, looking to try to get something going here as they go. Caution flag back on now. We got problems down there. Looks like David Pack having some problems down there, unfortunately, in that 52 machine. We'll take a look at the PTM instant replay, see what happened here exactly. Look like things got a little heated up there with the 14 going into the wall protection. You see the front end completely destroyed up on that thing. Front just completely taken for a backwards hand. Got sent out of here and got sent to the shadow room is what happened to it. Right here, you see the 4 is kind of closing in, and you see the 14 is just trying to get something to go, and oh man, that whole front end destroyed right off, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. And even he's got a flat tire. You see that car has dipped in a little bit. He's got a flat tire. That is nothing he can do about that. That is not good. What's that, right? Yes, in iRacing you can actually get flat tires, or you can damage the wheelbase where it can't run anymore. That is one of those scenarios. And it happened there. Roundabout here, we've got 7 laps that need to be completed. We're just losing drivers left and right, but the good news is that those that are still out on the track are still out to put on a show here. Put on a bit of a battle, put on a bit of a resurgence in the run. Look out, here we go. It's Hunter Larson, the number 13, closing up on the 26. Look, R. Howard trying to hold him back. Not quite going to be able to hold him back that much, though. Here comes Larson. Larson with a nice crossover there through the corners of 1 and 2. Took over the 26's position. Now Howard trying to get him back. Howard driving in like a madman, trying to get him back for that one there. But you can see just how difficult the track is getting here. The slick terrain got cleaned up a little bit for these drivers to work in a little bit more of a fresher end. Doesn't mean by any means, though, that it's going to be any easier to run off on. Only the best can figure this stuff out. Only the best can get around this kind of situation. Wiley coming on board saying Jordan LaFont every time, and Jordan LaFont saying every time. You guys can read the comment section what they're talking about, but I'm just going to say, thanks for coming on board here, folks. Definitely appreciate you having on down for the track side. Last winding down here, we got 3-2 down to go. Green flag high in the air, and we are coming up on the end of this one. Preston Shalom, all sorts of problems though down there and having more troubles than it's worth in his opinion. Constant and precious moments of time here as they lean him down for the white flag. This time on by Chris Hill with a charge of about 3 car lengths between him and Jake Colley. Colley trying to get him here and trying to get something to go off, but you can see Chris Hill is not going to play that game today. Off of turn number 4. Checkers out. Chris Hill will put the 5 into the number 1 spot here to transfer in. He'll go from the C main to the B's as the rest of our field finishes this one on out. B main complete, or C main, excuse me. Now on to the B. Take a look at our race results, and then we'll have a quick little warm-up session for these drivers. But Chris Hill, Colley, Larson, Howard, Pack, it may be Sculum, Blackburn, Corbett, Pfeiffer, and Rosselli, your finishers in this one. Bit of a wild race there in that one. A lot of heated moments, but now into the B main we go. And here's what we're going to have on your list. Dennis Anderson Jr. will be at the 0-4 on the number 1 spot. Is outside Dane Lloyd in the 9. Row number 2, it's going to be Cecil Kirkpatrick. In the 8 is outside. That'll be Caddy Tucker in the 53. Row 3 sees Bryce Dickinson there, and the 0-3 is outside Brent Robinson, the 114. Row 4 sees Blake Steele, the 12 is outside Dylan Wilson. And the number 6, row number 5, Jesse Osborne, 07 is outside, or the 87, excuse me, that will be Chris Hill in the 5. Jake Colley will be in the 44 with Hunter Larson in the 12, and Dylan Wilson is the number 6 to round out the field. Did not make the call. B main time coming up. So our drivers right now looking to gain some ground, gain some positions here. Everyone looking to put on a bit of a fight, put on a bit of a show here as they lean this thing in and lean this one on the track. Gaddy Tucker might be a driver I think you got to keep your eye on here in that 53. Seems was pretty tough to tame there in that heat. Just gonna see if 0-4 Dennis Anderson Jr. though can live it up to the Anderson monarchy and give him and the boys something to cheer about, something to think about here. We'll lead him off down out of turn number 4 this time. By to the green flag. We wave high in the air. Whoa, there's going to be some bumpers and some fruit fenders in this one. There's a huge wreck coming off of turn 2. Yellow flag high in the air here. We got a problem in turn 2, boys. And Chris Hill also involved in that one. He just literally won out his C main, excuse me. And now he finds himself on the receiving end of the B mains. 114 drives it hard in the 0-3 and then ends up collapsing in 6 drivers in total, excuse me, 5 other involved in that one. Ouch, ouch, and what's that other word? Oh yeah, ouch. Just amazing how quick things can change here on PTM Racing TV and how quick they can get a bit crazy here. LaFont saying, get her done, brother. Trying to root on his team, run on his family, his friends here, and trying to give him some love down there on the track. We've seen a few of these guys before here on PTM Racing TV. Some with the Infield Track Tires Super Series, some with the Mississippi Dirt Series, the Black Blood Eagle Racing Crew, and a lot of other leagues and seasons that we've really brought on this track here. Been kind of crazy to say the least, and really awesome to begin with. Right around off turn number 3. We'll lead them into turn number 4, where we then send it on their way and down on the track. Green flag back on out, and it looks like Caddy Tucker had a little bit of a beat down there from Cecil Patrick, the 69, while the 9 of Dane Lloyd trying to make a little bit of a charge from the heats there. He suffered, and he's not looking to do the same here in B mains. Kirkpatrick kind of lifting up a little bit, kind of got him a little sidewinded, a little bit of a troublesome exit there, but everyone seems to be okay. I spoke a little too soon. Jesse Osborne yet again in trouble, almost upside down through turn number 1, and just to stay on all fours. But a huge wreck ensuing between Hunter Larson and them, as well as Lugar Howard, tossed back on out. Oh boy, these things just get more and more crazy by the minute. You see right here, things just got a little bit chaotic, a little bit more hectic. Everyone was trying to find a line, trying to find a way around, and next thing you know, everything just completely went downhill from there. So that is your PTM Instant Replay. You can see Jesse Osborne just kind of parking it down at pit road for a minute to get a cleanup job done up on his car. Feel ready to get back down to the action, back down in position here. Ride him along, here we go. Once more, back to the action and back underway. Oh no, we got more problems off turn 2. Oh my goodness, we got a huge pileup in turn 2. You gotta be kidding me. And Kirkpatrick on that one too. It looked like the leaders just did not get off the line and get off the start. I turned my head for 1 second, just getting ready for the green flag. Next thing I know, I'm seeing the whole parking lot down there. Oh my. Let's take a look at this one. Looked like Kirkpatrick, yeah, that's what happened right there. He got into Dennis Anderson there. And Anderson, to his credit, he stayed calm, got back on the throttle. Kirkpatrick, though, wasn't so lucky and fortunate. Everybody behind him trying to get down off there. And you can see right there, Kirkpatrick's right front wheel fender got broke in the housing area. Might have some damage in there. Might have to get into an instant repair if he can. Will he be able to? I am not for sure. There's definitely going to be some damage, though. As Dennis Anderson Jr., Dane Lloyd will move in that top spots again. Hunter Larson going for a little bit of a cleanup job down in turn 4. Alright. Hopefully get this one calmed down a little bit and we'll let him fire back on down. Here we go. Green flag back high in the air. The number 12 now, Blake Steele. We didn't even realize where he came from. He had a little bit of a start there coming on that front straight. It looked like he was trying to build a little bit of momentum right on the 53 of Caddy Tucker. Lugar Howard, though, right behind him, trying to keep his line in check, trying to keep himself under control. Bryce Dickinson trying to stay away from that 114 of Brent Robinson. As you can see, a little bit of paint training off the corners. Cecil Patrick all over the place in the wall protection. He's got major problems on his hand with that right front tire, I guarantee you. And it looks like everyone in the 44 of Jay Colley trying to hold down the line at the 114, kind of getting blocked off from his run he had earlier. Chris Hill, though, despite the damage he suffered in a minute ago, he's pushing and fighting for everything he's got, trying to scratch his way up this one. It's one thing to get yourself up the top of the ladder, it's another to fight your way through the ladder. And Jesse Osborne doing much of the same as well. These guys giving it everything they can here as Hill starts to pop a little wheelie off of turn 2 there, but you see that right front kind of bent down a little bit, but looks like he's okay. Looks like he does not have too much damage. I had to speak a little too soon there. Gets into the back there, Jesse Osborne. You can see how that right front just digs into the ground. He's trying to get it to slick, trying to stick up and trying to grab as much as he can to hope for the best here. That's why you see that right front so low in there into that position. Dane Lloyd trying to get the 9 up into the fight with the 0-4 of Dennis Anderson Jr. We're going on board here with old Dane. Two completely different ways to hit the turns, two completely different ways to get around the track. Top and bottom line both coming into play here. But it seems though the bottom seems to be where most of the grip is, except for maybe for turn number 2. Look at Mr. 12 here, Blake Steele. Mounting a charge with the wall protection up top side while he's got Jesse Osborne looking to sneak his way down on the bottom end. Little contact yet again, more trading paint, looking for that position. Transfer spots engaged. Blake Steele high on the wall protection. Jesse Osborne now looking to mount the charge. A hard run now coming down through the this next set of turns. He's giving her everything she's got and making them work for it. 3 laps left to go. Anybody's guess who can take this one home. They just want to fire them on down and give themselves something to think about. This is some great, clean, action-packed fights in between here. Look at Cecil Patrick, just the aggression. The number 69 just bringing it right into the corners. Oh, a little bit of head trouble, though. We got problems in turn number 1. Bryce Dickinson getting clobbered in by Blake Steele as well. Blake was trying to get it set for the turn, but ended up finding himself getting sent to the shadow round. We've got a white flag out. 10-minute warm-up coming your way. We'll talk with the drivers throughout their heats and throughout their finishes and see how they felt about this one. But off of corner 3 into turn number 4 from white to checkers, Dennis Anderson Jr. engaged and then transfers into the mains. The A main transfer spot engaged for him and his crew. Talk about madness and a half, though, with a capital M. Hey, you can't say nobody gave out on this one. No one was going to give in to this at all. Here's your B main results now popping up on your screen. Anderson Jr., Lloyd, Tucker, Osborne, Hill, Kirkpatrick, Colley, Steele, Howard, Dickinson, Robinson, Larson, Wilson. Time for your warm-up session, race fans, and we're going to try and talk to some of our drivers here and have a listen in with them. See how they feel about this one. I guess right now would be the best time to bring in the madman himself, the guy that orchestrated all this to begin with here. Let's listen in now with Mr. Thorne Zimmerman. And Thorne, I know you're representing well here tonight for the Ooz Motorsports open house. I mean, tell me how it's going down there on the track right now, watching these guys go at it.
Yeah, the heats went really good. The contis were about, you know, what you would expect. Everybody jockeying for position, a few cautions out there, but all in all, I'd say it's been really good so far, and I'm expecting the feature to be really, really good with the amount of hitters in the top 10 and starting at the back that are going to be working their way up.
For sure there. Now, I'm going to ask this real quick. I mean, there's a lot of guys out here that we've known have been champions and winners here before on PTM Racing TV. I mean, is there a set of group guys out here you think maybe the favorites going into this one? Because, I mean, this could go either way, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I haven't been here in a while. I don't really know who the teams are anymore, but definitely always, Kilgore and Hackney are always going to be up there. And then you got Hot Lap Heroes, Garrett, Seth, Swede, Dane, they're scattered throughout the field along with Dennis. And just those few, single guys that have their own setups going. But I think it'll come down to somebody in Hot Lap Heroes and somebody in Extreme Savage, I'm sure.
For sure there. All right, well, Thorne, right now, as we just kind of wait for the drivers here to see if maybe they'll come join us to talk with us, we do appreciate you having us come on board and promoted this one. Certainly is a great showing for the Ooz Motorsports crew.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you again, Thorne, there for your time here as we get ready to figure this one out and get ready to set this one on down. Race fans, tonight's race for the Ooz Motorsports Open House has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Ooz Motorsports. Don't think we're cheating because you think you're fast. Ooz Motorsports, again, being a big representation for all of the iRacing boys in the motorsport scene, just on and off, in real and IRL lifestyle here. This is one of the best, honestly, groups of people you can really get yourselves in contact with and really get for a fun little time out on the track, obviously. And they're always trying to recruit and bring more drivers into the bunch, so always got to keep up with them. About 6 minutes remain here right at the get-go here. We'll see what happens here for the rest of them. Couple more minutes remaining here right now as the field gets prepared in for this one. The A main event is definitely something to watch out for. It'll be a bit of a crazy one to begin with here, and really going to be, I think, really the kind of time or two where we see the drivers that got smart with how they set the cars up and how they set their track. This just ends up with these things. These street stocks are not exactly the easiest to handle, nor are they the easiest to really work around. Some drivers are going to be put to their absolute limits and put to their absolute test here. And I know more than anything, they'll be watching themselves and the corners here as we get ready to kind of put this one down and around the track. Our flagman tonight, JC Jackson right now, or as I call him, JJ, keeping a close eye out on the field and on the track, kind of working his magic up there, making sure these drivers do a good job and make sure they stay out of trouble. Goodness for him, and as he is on a short track, so he doesn't have to really worry about trying to look off into the distance. I'd say that's always a bit of a plus, always a bit of a thing to keep an eye out for. Swede Milgard, the 15, again, you heard him say earlier as well, maybe a guy you want to keep an eye out for in that Hot Lap Hero contingency. I've seen him come out on time or two, literally take home championship wins after championship wins with little to no problems. Will the same happen here tonight? That remains to be questionable. Jesse Osborne somehow, someway, really keeping himself in check and keeping himself on the spot. Had really little to no problems down there, but again tonight, with the way this track will burn in, the way this track's going to give these guys a bit of headaches, it's room to really master and control. Will they be able to stay on that and really keep ahead of the curve here? Because this track is definitely going to be testing a few guys up more so often than not. Maybe though one guy you'll have to watch out for is Carl Kilgore in that 9. And I'll tell you one thing, it's been a while since we've seen him dominate as much as he has, but in this race, in this week tonight, man, he has been putting some straight up booming machines in there and fighting out with some hard racing and hard chargers. For Jake Colley, you saw him earlier in that Mountain Dew Blue Voltage machine. He's been doing a great job as well, really putting down the hammer, putting down a show here as we are now completed and ready for your A main event. It's time to take a look at this one. A main time, race fans, here we go. It's time to take a look at this field of drivers, and on the pole we're going to see J.C. Floyd in the 018 is outside Carl Kilgore in the 009. Row 2 sees Keith Hackney in the that'll be the number 69 is outside 789 of Garrett Marshall. Row number 3 is going to be Cody Myers, and the 55 is outside. That's Shane Yates in the 21. Row number 4, it's Jacob Doki, and the 117 is outside the 045. That'll be Kyle Jarrett. Row number 5 will be Gavin Eisel, and the number 18 is outside. That's the 22, Chris Beaversman. Row number 6, Seth Castle, and the 7 is outside. The 54, that'll be Jonathan Byam in the 54. Row number 7, that's going to be Tyler Bushy, and the 15 is outside. Ethan Toder in the 5. Row number 8, Sweet Wade Milgard, and the 15 is outside. The 109, Sean Hayes. Row 9, Dennis Anderson Jr. in the 04 is outside. That'll be the 9. That is Dane Lloyd. Row 10, we will see that being Caddy Tucker, and the 53 is outside. Jesse Osborne, the 87. Row 11, Chris Hill, and the 10 is outside. Cecil Kirkpatrick, and the 8 final starters. Jake Colley, the 484, and Blake Steele in the 12. 24 of the best drivers, 24 hard racing machines ready to go at it here and now on PTM Racing TV. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your A main event of the Ooz Motorsports Open House. $50 is on the line. They will come off of corner number 4, looking to charge this one up a bit and charge it up a notch. We're going racing at Weedsport. Here we go off of corner number 1 and 2. Problems already there for the 18. J.C. Floyd makes a bobble through the first set of corners. Could not get it to stay down on the track. He's going to have to try to make up for that. He mistake with some hard racing, charging down off turn number 4, though. We got a little bit of a pile up as the 18 of Gavin Eisel kind of stretched out a little bit as they go 3 wide, saloon down into turn 1 and 2. Swede Milgard, the 15, going right in there with Jesse Osborne. These guys literally going all out at Fay Makers Battle Racing. This is the war we were talking about. This is what we came to see and what we came to showcase. These drivers will not hesitate to put a full-on bumper or 2 at you. They will not hesitate to run you off like nothing else. Throw them down there, though, here for Tyler Bushy and Jesse Osborne. We're going to have a little bit of a caution flying on them. Caution flies high in the air here. We're going to take a look at this one here on the PTM Instant Replay here, presented by Ooz Motorsports. Well, I honestly thought they were going to see a little bit more than this right here, but looks like actually the number 09 all over the place, kind of caught off mid-guard, and the Swede Milgard actually taking the 87 ended with the 15. So either way, you can say the 87 got taken by the 15, whether it be he got a hit or he got it taken for a ride there, unfortunately. Field will have to stretch back around, get things nice and settled up here on the show. We'll see if that continues to be a little bit of troublesome here. Shan Powell joins us in saying awesome dirt racing so far. Shan, great to have you on board here. We've seen some awesome battles, some awesome corners, and some hard racing charges from these guys throughout their leagues, throughout their seasons, and throughout their events. Both the Ooz Motorsports open house, there are some names in here we never would have seen here without this race. And again, you've just seen what Thorne Zimmerman brought to the table, helping everyone kind of get this one settled in and ready to go. And it really has been quite the showcase here for many drivers that may not get the spotlight that they deserve or really get to see themselves on TV. Well, now they got their chance and they get to do more of it. I highly recommend you check out the Ooz Motorsports open house races when they come by. You never know when we'll be in town. Green flag back on out, though. Oh, a little trouble down there on turn 1 and 2 there for Shane Myers. Cody Myers, excuse me, there kind of getting himself into troublesome flank and then getting more into a problematic area. And Garrett Marshall, the 79, just completely spun on by and sent to the shadow realm. I bet to say Garrett Marshall. I don't know, Garrett Marshall. I don't know why I said Shane Myers, and then I said Cody Myers, and then I'm like, what? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little confused here. Let's take a look at the replay. All right, here's what happened. There's the problem there. Garrett Marshall getting in with the 79, unfortunately got tagged in by the 11. That is Shane Yates. That's where I was trying to say. Shane Yates got in with them there and kind of take him for a little bit of a ride. So I apologize to both guys there for my little hiccup. Track again so small in length, they really have to actively wait for the pace truck to get around so they can actually stay on the lead lap and stay out of trouble. Jordan LaFontaine, one of them TNL drivers taking the dub. Don't matter which one. It's saying give them hell, Beavers. This is going to be a good race to watch up front. There's a lot of great battles to keep your eye out on, of course, but I think more than anything, we're just going to have to kind of let this one play out. Way too early to call anyone as a hard charger, as a guy to watch or a guy to really take down tonight. Second caution here of our 50 lap A main event here. We're going to take the taste lights off this next time by here. Carl Kilgore the 9, and then the outside Keith Hackney will try to make something work here. Some huge runners here in this field, some heavy hitters ready to fight it out once again. And knowing the news, we know that it's coming soon for the Dirt Series, boys, that we've got a new track coming up. I-55 Speedway is coming next build. And we also know we'll get ourselves at least some kind of new dirt car in the future if Dale Earnhardt Jr. is to be believed from his Twitter little post he had. So I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to see what they bring to the table. All I know is, though, we're back to the action. Uh-oh. And there's a little bit of action entering into turn number 1. Everybody trying to hold their line down to try not to get crashed up and banged up down there. I'm not sure these guys thought this was an enduro or if they thought it was actually just a race here, because these guys are loving to put the bumpers and fenders to one another like they're nothing. I know we're in iRacing, but guys, you gotta at least take these things and ease into this. You can't just go running hard off there. Some of them really don't even mind it. They love that kind of race and that old bumping and banging, beating and battering, bending machineries. Like I say, I definitely love watching it as much as I love calling it. That's something I'll say. Up in the front right now, Carl Kilgore, still your race leader here as Keith Hackney tries to come back at him and takes him down. Driving like a madman straight down into the corners and hanging on for dear life. You can see the 9, though, has got the race lead by a pretty good margin of error here, just doing what he needs to do. Guys in the back, they're getting a little bit crazy here as we got another caution out on the track here. Looks like this one's going to go on Jesse Osborne and Cecil Kirkpatrick. Looks like they might have got a little too rambunctious there in that corner and ended up kind of tagging each other down for a little ride-off or two. See Jesse Osborne, oh yeah. Yeah, he got Kirkpatrick pretty well there, and that's what brought out the caution in this case. Jesse did not look like he intended to do what he did, but it looked like it just kind of ended up playing that way to begin with. There's some things you can't control in the world of racing, and even iRacing counts there too. Firing them off now, one more time by, then we'll get the caution lights off on the pace truck as well as the flag stand. Crowd of over 20,000 in attendance tonight, watching down on the track side here as well as from our stands here in PTM Racing TV. Thank you so much to all those that came on out tonight to watch some good, hard-fought, clean battle. Well, good, hard-fought, clean. We're not mixing clean in the same thing with these guys, but hard-fought, bumping and banging kind of racing. These guys have been putting up a number, putting on a show. Many of them trying to get through this one. Kilgore setting them up, looking to make them work it around off of turn number 4. Back to the green flag. We get them up. Gray white salute mixed in a little bit as the 18 JC Floyd trying to hammer it down. Cody Myers on the outside, on the inside line. Look at Kilgore though, he's got company. Hackney closing that gap, got a fender off him. Now looking to take another one. Lining up down through turn number 1. Look at Hackney, the 69K, got the 9 locked and loaded on that bumper of his. That's not a spot you want to be stuck in if you got a bumper collected in. Those guys can get a little bit sidewinded, a little bit more trouble. We saw that happen earlier in the B main. The leader, Dennis Anderson Jr., got clipped in by Cecil Patrick, and next thing you know, everything went to complete haywire and high side crazy town. Hackney trying to get the inside of Kilgore. Meanwhile, behind him, here you see the 17 of Jacob Doak going at it hard with Chris Beavers in that 03. Beavers trying to hold his line down. You can see him literally watching from all ends, just watching out for Floyd and Doak here. That's the thing about dirt track racing, you've got to really master and be a testament to slipping and sliding, keeping your corners up and watching every single part of the track. You don't get any spotters or anything like that in real life, and these boys generally turn those things off. They'll run the inside, they'll run the outside, they'll run everywhere they have to hold each other down. Every man for themselves, every driver for themselves. Here you see the 09 of Sean Hayes now looking at maybe if we can go around here at the 18 of Gavin Eisel as well as 117 Doak. Jacob Doak trying to keep his chances and hopes alive to get himself a pretty decent spot here. Remember, $50 on the line for the race winner, Kilgore and Hackney. Certainly putting a bit of a fight and a half down on the track here for that. But the guys in the back here certainly not giving out either. Living up to the reputation and living up to the hype that they bring to the table. Kilgore, your race leader still. He started this one on the lead. He's been holding out since. Hackney been trying to find something to catch him with, something to get him around, but unfortunately the momentum just is not there, at least yet. But you watch the laps going through. You can see the tires are going to burn up a bit actually. They're in the iRacing sector now. They've actually got it to where the dirt can burn the tires up a little bit and get them a little hotter down on the collars. Once you get those things warmed up and heated up a bit, then they become pretty much just all of a sudden a huge racing control schemes. Oh man, Milgar getting a whole lot of a bumper, but Seth Castle certainly got more than just his fair share. Sent on around, gets sent back to the shadow realm, and he got tagged in half by 2 of them. Dennis Anderson Jr. also getting a piece of him there. Caution lights are on here. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. Looked like a bit of just a bad scenario here. Unfortunately, tags the 15, then Garrett Marshall. What kind of deja vu? He got spun around there in turn number 1 earlier. So now drivers double filing back up. They do not want to waste time here. They want to keep this crazy train rolling, this crazy train going. Still a lot more racing to be had. Still a lot more to display here out on the track. These guys are not giving up just yet. 24 drivers came out here looking to try to make a name for themselves, trying to make a bit of a showcase for themselves as well as their crew and their families and friends that they come out with the show. Top 5 right now. Kilgore, Hackney, Myers, Floyd, Doak. They're your top 5 drivers. They will be the guys to watch out for. Kilgore will dictate the pace once again here as he lines them up down off of turn number 3 and 4 back to the green flag, though we're lining them off it again. Well, that's 0-3 there. You saw getting a little bit of a tap and a half there. Beaversman, he's going to have to be careful. The eager McBeaver just looking to keep himself under control and keeping himself out of problematic zones. Tyler's down there, though, for Tyler Bushy, the 15, getting tucking around town. I know there's a lot of pandemonium there that comes from New York, but I did not realize that the dirt track side of things also had a lot of that stuff going on. Who would have thought? Here's a look at the replay. Looked like he just kind of got toe tapped in there, calling the 14, and then really just had nowhere to go from there. Looked like he's trying to get out of that mess and trying to find a way around it, but that definitely is not the case here. Look at how burnt this track is right now. You can just see how much they're turning these things in, trying to hold their line in. It is a massacre on 4th Street right now. 34th Street, to say the least. Alright. Double file back up. Pace lights are off on the pace car. Savannah Murray B coming on board saying, let's go Hackney. A lot of love down there for Hackney crew, and a lot of, we see some love there earlier for Dane Lloyd, Shane Yates, and the Sweet Milgard. But it seems though Hackney's fans have now kind of come to rise and come to fruition. They're rooting him on. Well, he'll have a chance here once again. Look at him driving it hard off the outside wall. Embankments down into the corners. He's trying to get a bit of a push-up draft on the outside. He's not going to get any more than that here as they have to go back to the caution flag. Caution back on out. Looks like Tyler Bushy involved again here, unfortunately. Let's take a look at this again. Looked like maybe there was just a little bit of a miscue here. And Jesse Osborne getting with Seth Castle, Chris Hill, Dusty Anderson Jr., and looks like, yep, Tyler Bushy just kind of falling in line there as well. Yeah, the more they just keep kind of punching laps down after once in a while, I mean, it's just going to get harder for Hackney and Floyd to make any kind of moves off on Kilgore. Kilgore would just pretty much get a better start and kind of hang him down there. Shane Ratham saying, come on, Keith Hackney, and Chris Elliott saying, go sweet Swede. Double files? Yeah, that guy's thrown out the window. We're going single file now. Single file restarts. Drivers being told you can't get it going well with a double file, so now you have to go single. That's going to give even more of an advantage, in my opinion, to Carl Kilgore. We'll see how well that lasts out for him, though, as they bring it back to the green flag. Running him down here, 3 wide salute mixed in here. Look at the 09 of Sean Yates, putting it right to the Beaverman. Reaver got it clipped in. Oh, he didn't appreciate it very much. Look at him just push him right off into turn 3 and send him to the shadow round, back down to his way. Oh man, I don't think Beaverman had liked what the 09 did very much to him, so he said, hold on a minute, boy, we're on dirt. I can put you around if I wanted to. He had no qualms and problems about doing that here as the rest of the field tries to march their way down. Seth Castle now making a bit of a run there on the bottom lane with Dane Lloyd, the 9, on the outside. But back up front right now, Hackney still trying to find some extra grip, some extra momentum to get around Kilgore. You see Kilgore finding the line to the best grip, which is pretty much anything that has the slightest tip of tack to it. You can see that bottom lane right there. There's that little tackiness. That's just enough for him to work his way around, and that's what he's pretty much using to his fullest advantage right now. Man, Kilgore giving it everything he can, trying to hold on. Hackney, though, looks like he might be catching him slightly in the turn, slightly in the corners here. It's going to need a little bit more work to do than just that. Beaverman trying to hold back Sweet Milgard as Milgard continues to punch his way through the dance and through the fight. Anybody's guess who can win this one out. Anyone's guess who can take this one home. Jake Colley puts it in on the inside zone. He's out. He's done. He's calling it a night. Tyler Bushy having all sorts of problems too. He's going to park it down there. He's done. He's had it. Carr's had enough, and he's just going to make sure he doesn't tear up any more equipment. Jacob Doak in the 117 getting a little bit of a tap there by the 20 by that 09 as Hayes looks to try to get another position. Firing him off down the back straightaway, nearly a 3 wide salute as Doak gets kind of punched up yet again. He's way far up to the outside now, trying to get more grip down there. Yays. Oh, he's going to throw the crossover, maybe throw the slider. No, he doesn't throw a slider. He throws a big crossover move though on the 09. Hayes looked like he was trying to stay out of trouble, stay out of his way. He knew he had to go up topside to get the run down so he wouldn't throw the ultimate of sliders. Hackney's starting to slow up a little bit, although it looks like he's trying to get some runoff on the outside. He thinks maybe he can't get Kilgore down there as the yellow flag flies. JC Foy was kind of punching his name into that there for a minute, so that could be a sign of things to come here. Gavin Eisel seems to have a little bit of problem down there in the 18. We'll take a look at the PTM instant replay, see what happened here exactly. And oh boy, Beaverman really got sent out of here. Oh man! Beaverman slid straight right, and then next thing you know, the 18 just plows it, bulldozes it up, and the next thing you know, he got bulldozed, and almost his entire car ends up end over end in an endo. I don't think he was trying to do a stoppie like they do on Monster Jam these days. I think he was just trying to stay away from being in trouble. Well, those are still tuned in with us right now. First off, thank you so much for joining us in and coming on board tonight. If you haven't already, hit the like and follow button here on our PTM Racing TV Facebook page. Head over to our YouTube, subscribe there so you never miss the action, you never miss a show. We cannot thank you guys so much for this one. We really cannot. We really appreciate it all. It is an honor and a pleasure to call this for you guys. Field looking to grass the corners, grass the track again here. We're going to stay single file on this zone at the moment. Drivers looking to stay out of trouble and build up more power and more runoff here. They're going to have to stay focused though. They don't have very many laps left to work with. They only got about 20 remaining. And anything can happen in about 20 laps here. Back to the green flag. I was down there earlier actually practicing a little bit with these dirt stocks at Weedsport because it's been a while, and I can tell you right now it's still as hard as I remember it to race on this track. you have to pretty much kind of set your car up for two things. Number one, having a good gear ratio and a gear setup. Number two, making sure you're ready when it slicks up, because turn 1 and 2, not too difficult, honestly. I really like it down there in turn 1 and 2. It makes for some fun close corner, little throwing at it, kind of racing. But 3 and 4, yeah, that's definitely my kryptonite, I will say that much. And there's one big reason why. When it slicks up and you're having to go to the top side, you run the risk of getting kind of get sent into that cushion down there that really makes it harder to corner off of. But also, if you try to run the inside line, you've got a little thing down there that just so happens to be that wall protection right in front of you. Clip that left front into that wall, and you pretty much kiss your night goodbye. And it looks like, unfortunately for Jacob Doak, he's going to have to kiss his night goodbye as well. Looks like he's got problems down there. We'll take a look at the PTM instant replay. Got last in there by Beaverman. Beaver kind of sent him around, and then he got clipped huge there. Got a huge hard hit. Car comes to a rest, and he pretty much parked it down there. Boy, they sure did not waste any time getting these guys lined back up now, did they? Hit them off the charge. They want to get back to the race, and don't let them stop. Let's get going. Here we go again. Kilgore with the race lead. Hackney right in between with them, trying to make it work off them. Every driver for themselves now as Cody Myers tries to get something going on the outside as well. David and Partita coming aboard saying, come on, Cecil. Lining down around here, every driver for themselves. Kiesel Kirkpatrick he's talking about. Currently a hard charger, 11 spots up where he was at earlier. He's 11th right now as Seth Castle, a former winner here on PTM Racing TV, having all sorts of problems and malfunctions down there on the track. Can't quite keep the seaman under control, and oh my! Cody Myers swung it way too hard into turn number 3 and 4 and smashes the entire car into the barrier. Oh my, that is a hard hit. There is movement in the car though. He is letting us know he's okay. Although he threw a double, I think he might have threw a deuce at somebody here. I think he thinks he got wrecked out. Let's take a look at it. Just swung it way too far in, and oh man, just I said earlier, the one corner you had to watch out for was that corner right there. That was not expecting the poles though to be the big issue. That is oh man, that's a tough break there for Myers. He was driving so hard, so well there, and you see a guy of his caliber go down like this. That's hard to see. See right here though, he just over throttled it, and there's nothing else he can do. Like in here though, he was at least putting his foot pedal down a little bit, and he was also moving his hands around a little, so he is okay. As much as he is probably frustrated, I know his fans at least are going to be happy that he's alright from that one. Field ready to march down yet again here. Every driver for themselves. No one left out in the wilderness here. It's just get and go kind of runs tonight. Line them back off down on the turn 2 section of things here. What will happen next, and what will happen here? Here we go now down through turn number 3 and 4. Back to the restart. Two completely different lines thrown right here. Trying to slingshot it off the outside. Hackney looking for anything he can to catch Kilgore. But you can see Kilgore has got a strong line on the bottom. Just trying to stay away from smashing the wall in completely there. Running out of drivers, running out of field members here. Everyone just looking for last minute positions, last minute dashes they can get. Down on the ends here. Look out for Tacey Floyd. The 18's got a little bit of an inside scoop and loop there on the 69K. Hackney knows he cannot let him by. He will have a lot of hard time to get around 2 drivers for the price of 1. He goes down low. He's going to block it up there. Kilgore has really not been tested and really not been pushed to any kind of limit. He's been kind of hidden back a little bit, but that doesn't mean nothing to him. He's trying to hold the line down, just charge this thing up for all she's worth and not worry about the rest. Laying it down around now. Hackney getting in some major heat up in the wall. Looks like he might have more problems though than anything. He might have a tire going down. He lost a lot of momentum there. Lost a lot of power. Looks like he might have swung it too hard at JC Floyd, and Floyd knows it. 10 laps remain. Anybody's guess who could take this one home. Garrett Marshall is now making his way back to the field despite the problems earlier. Cecil Patrick at the 69. Going up top, looking for some gold, looking for some treasure up there. He's trying to see if he can get any kind of runoff here. As you can see, even Chris Beaverman in the 03 just mounting the charge and hanging in there. Every driver for themselves here. You can see there are distances closing up. Everyone trying to gain as much as they can. Find a line, find a rhythm. Just not a lot of ways to get around it. JC Floyd has now got ahead there of Hackney, and now he's looking to try to take down Kilgore. Kilgore is getting a whole lot of bumper, whole lot of fender. Look at the 18. He's charging, he's fighting, he's got a grip up there. Kilgore now has being tested, and he's being seen if he can hang in there. Look at the run on the outside, and look at Floyd making the move, making the run. He takes the outside away and makes a charge on Kilgore. Kilgore not going to let him down that easily, though. Side by side, they battle for the lead. 5 laps to go. High five in the air. These guys know they're running out of time. Can JC Floyd continue the battle, continue the dominance? He's stretching this one out pretty thick and thin. Floyd, though. Oh, he gets tagged in by the eye to Kilgore. Watch out for Hackney on the outside. Here he comes out 3. Wide salute for the race lead. And Keith Hackney takes the lead away. Floyd trying to get back at him. Look at Hackney, though, driving it hard off. He's getting tagged and toe tapped in there. Yellow flag is out. Yellow is out. Did Hackney get the lead before Floyd could get him? They're saying yes, he did. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. JC Floyd and Carl Kilgore going at it in a heated moment, but they forgot about Keith Hackney. And the 69K is going to find himself in a heated moment or two with dealing with Floyd and Kilgore. Waiting for the official call. They're saying Hackney was on the top spot during that one right there. The fans just erupted in the comment section. They've erupted down in the grandstands. They cannot believe what they just seen. Could the 69K be able to find some extra boost and momentum? JC Floyd was getting a lot of run in that middle section. Looked like he had a lot of grip. This restart tells the tale. He needs a good jump here. He's got 3 laps to do it. Can he do it? We'll charge them up, set them down, set the field in. Green flag in the air. Let's get back down to it. Slow and steady. Kilgore is a madman now. He's trying to do what Hackney was up to earlier. Hackney, though, looks like he might have bobbled a little bit down in that turn, off turn 3 and 4. It might not have, maybe it just been my eyes there. JC Floyd trying to catch him again. Floyd trying to get the inside, maybe trying to scoop that bumper up. 2 laps to go. We've got a green-white checker coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, coming down through turn 3 and 4, Floyd and Hackney will go to war. Kilgore looking for the outside in. White flag is out. The 69K is going to try to hold the 18 back, as you can see him trying to push and shove for everything. He's got Kilgore having too many problems up there. He'll lose his ground. It'll be Milgard sneaking his way in, but turn 3 and 4 will tell the tale for Hackney and Floyd. Of a turn number 4 to the finish line, and Keith Hackney capitalizes on a mistake and wins at the Ooz Motorsports Open House. Oh my! Can you say what a race? Holy cow, what a battle! The Ooz Motorsports Open House winner is that man right there, this 69K Keith Ackney, with the W and the victory. And what a battle and a rough and tumble scrap up, fight it out, shootout from these boys. There was no holding back here tonight. And there was certainly no holding back to the end. What a victory. That's what we call the journey to the destination. The destination sometimes can just be what we wanted. And it definitely was here. While I start to catch my breath back and get things figured out, here is your race results. Keith Ackney. He capitalized on the mistake from J.C. Floyd and Carl Kilgore, who go second, third, respectfully. In a heated fight to the end, neither driver gave out, but Swede Milgard coming away fourth. Fifth goes to Seth Castle. Sixth to Shane Yates. Seventh to Chris Beaversman. Eighth to Gavin Eisel. Ninth to Cecil Kirkpatrick. And 10th to Garrett Marshall. That rounds out your top 10 in this field of drivers. And whoo, what a race fans. You can't say that was not worth the price of admission right there. And the thing is, these guys came in as a free show take, and they came out with an absolute fight and a half here on PTM Racing TV with the Ooz Motorsports machines. Let's take it down now. Let's talk with the top three coming away third tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 009, or the 9 I should say, that's Carl Kilgore, the fourth. Kilgore, congratulations on a third place finish, my friend. This was a wild one. You had the lead for a good majority of the race. Started to get a little bit of a ground up there before that caution came out. And the next thing you know, Floyd catches you, and then Hackney kind of catches around as you two get into it there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I hated me and JC got together because that is probably I'm probably gonna be hearing some bitching about it from him that he won, and I just hate that the car took a right when me and JC were door to door, because I know that me and JC probably had the two fastest cars on the racetrack. I just hate for it to end like that.
For sure there, but I mean at the same time, man, it's still a lot of fun to really just watch two drivers going back and forth, fighting it out here for everything they got. I know a lot of fans out there definitely were watching and anticipating this one through it, but I mean, if there's anything you could have done differently when they got to those final restarts, the way the track was changing, could you have tried to find a little bit more grip to get away from them, or was it just not quite there with the setup?
I think we may could have tried to do it front line. Once I got to third, I got to try the top of 1 and 2, and it felt decent. Middle of 3 and 4 was also still pretty good, but I wasn't giving up the bottom. They were going to have to pass me on the outside, and hats off to JC who earning passing me, and he done it the clean way and didn't have to get it given to him.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here, Kilgore, you're going to walk away here with the third place finish here with the Ooz Motorsports Open House. I have to ask you, sir, who do you want to thank you for that one?
Majulis and C Speed Shop for sure. I wish we could have got the win for them. Big old lubricants, Kilgore Consulting, all those guys that helped get us done.
For sure there. Well, Carl, congratulations on the third place finish, man. An absolute fight and a showdown and a half here on PTM Racing TV.
Thank you.
Carl Kilgore, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear really in his voice and his heart. He definitely had a lot going on and really a lot of battling, to say the least. But at the end of the day, man, that is what we call racing. That's what we call the fight to the finish. I don't know if we're going to get J.C. Floyd and Keith Hackney in here, but we'll go ahead and put the overlays up here for them for their second and first place finishers. But, folks, what a fight. What a battle from start to finish here. This was just absolutely crazy, absolutely insane. This was something you just cannot get anywhere else, for the record. You just cannot catch this stuff without two guys or three guys or multiple guys that have a known idea of how each other race, have a known idea how to really put on a fight, put on a show, and really give it everything they got. And that little tag there coming on that back straightaway really did do a number on these drivers and really changed the game for them from the end. So, well, it looks like that might be pretty much it here tonight, race fans. So we're going to go ahead and call this one a night. But again, a big thank you to our friends over at Ooz Motorsports. Remember, if you don't think we're fast because you think we're cheating. And at the same time, for those, thank you so much for having them come on board, having us come down. We certainly hope you enjoyed it, folks. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. From all of us here at PTM Racing TV, we will see you guys next. Hold on. Okay, hold on a second. I think we might have one more driver coming on board. Hackney, is that you, bud?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, Vibe, you got the last name wrong, brother. I did not catch you there, sir.
It's all good, buddy.
All right, well, here he is, race fans. I guess he wanted to make sure we got this one in. He wasn't going to hold out here. Race fans, your race winner, the Ooz Motorsports Open House winner. It's Keith Hackney joining me in here tonight. Keith, congratulations, man. And I'll tell you one thing. These fans were literally watching you in complete and utter craziness. You had found a lot of runoff and caught Carl earlier in the race. Ben got caught down by J.C. Floyd. But then the overall kicker that ends this race for them both, they get into it and you take it away from them. What was it like making that pass on the outside?
Early on in the race, I felt like I was a little bit better than Carl. He got better than me in the middle of the race, him and JC both, and I knew they was both right there. I was just really holding my line, the best I could. I was getting them restarts pretty good, but I'd get that run coming off of 2, but then, it's so hard if you're not really beside them going into 3. So, right there at the end, when JC got around me, I seen what he was doing. He was running like the middle line, so I tried running it, and then my teammates that was in the race, they said that they was running the top side in 3 and 4. So I was like, well, let me see if I can go up there and run it, because my car, it was just, I don't know, it was reacting weird tonight, and I ran it up there about 2 laps, and I noticed I started getting a run on them, and I seen them racing, and I was just sort of lagging back a little bit, and they got together, and I was just able to pass them around, on the outside. So I don't see where I got it gave to me, but I was just racing my line and doing what I do, and that's just be there at the end of the race. It's real hard to do that, and especially with Carl and JC. Good drivers, blah blah blah, and just good competition. So honestly, I hate that it happened, but then again, I'm glad that it did happen because it put me in a situation to walk out of here. So we'll take it, and man, we'll just move on to the next one.
For sure there. Now, obviously, kind of moving into the next one. I know there's a lot of folks out there that are really just completely shocked and in awe. Great to see you back here in Victory Lane. So, as you take away the W and the victory here on PTM Racing TV, I have to ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank here tonight for this win?
Man, I got to thank Team No Love first and foremost. Gotta give a shout out to Cody. We was tweaking on some things in practice, and Shane and Cecil, Jamie, he wasn't able to make it tonight. Another special shout out to Elite Performance Industries. We got some big news coming up here next week, so be on the lookout for that. Just Race Page Pro, Dustin Hall on wraps. Just everybody behind the scenes, man. Thorn and them for putting this race on, you for broadcasting it. It's been a hell of a race, hell of a show. And a special shout out to my old lady Savannah, oh my God, Savannah, she's gonna kill me. So just shout out to her, and we'll just move on to the next one.
Well, don't worry about being killed by her, because believe me, I messed up her name earlier on. I said Savannah too, so she'll probably have my hide later on, brother. All right, Keith, appreciate you coming on board, man. Congratulations, well-deserved win, and I think the fans definitely have approved this one for you, sir. Congratulations.
All right, buddy, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the race winner here tonight, Keith Hackney, again pulling that number 69K into victory lane. All right, now for sure, race fans, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys from the bottom of our heart. Tomorrow night, 3 headers coming your way. Main events, they will be certainly one to see. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for tuning in with us here on PTM Racing TV.